This tower is all that remains of a 12th century church that stood on a Normandy hilltop in the tiny village of Graignes. It's a war memorial for nearly 50 American soldiers and 32 of the town's citizens. One of those killed here was Sergeant Benton Broussard, a French-speaking Cajun paratrooper. It was just after midnight on D-Day when more than 100 American paratroopers dropped into the flooded lowlands around the village.
Around 1 o'clock in the morning, somebody knocked at the door, and it was the first American who arrived.
Danielle Peyros translates for her mother, Martha Rigaud, who was 12 years old on D-Day. Martha's sister, Odette, was 18. It was Sergeant Benton Broussard who had knocked on their door.
He was the only one who spoke French, so it was wonderful to hear someone who speaks French.
The paratroopers missed their target by 15 miles. It was the worst misdrop of D-Day. The Rigaud family farm became a gathering place for soldiers who waited out of the swamp that night. The girls and their father used a boat to gather the troopers' parachutes, equipment packs, and ammunition.
They went to find all the equipment in the swamps to hide them in the barn.
It was a huge risk. If the Germans caught them, they would be shot.
We show you the number.
Martha still has part of a parachute she saved from D-Day. 5 days would pass before German troops arrived. The townspeople had gathered here in the Catholic Church for Sunday Mass, and they were joined by some of the American paratroopers. That's when they got word that the Germans were beginning their attack.
A lady came in the church and screamed that Germans were coming.
The battle raged all day. Odette recalls peeking through a keyhole in the church door.
She was looking inside and she could see an American soldier fighting the Americans further, and she saw him falling dead. This shocked her a lot.
Sergeant Broussard was just steps away from the church when he was killed by an artillery shell. During a lull in the fighting, the villagers were sent to their homes. The paratroopers were running out of ammunition and withdrew from the village. The Germans moved in and massacred 17 wounded and captured American soldiers who stayed behind. Some of the villagers were also executed.
Venger sur les deux prêtres.
And then they killed the two priests, the French priest who stayed in.
Ils les ont fusillés et ils ont mis du...
And they burned them.
The village of Graignes was destroyed. 2 months later, Sergeant Broussard's mother, who lived near Crowley, Louisiana, got this telegram.
I don't know if she ever got over it.
Deanna Richard Spell is Broussard's niece. She remembers that his mother constantly spoke of her lost son.
She dedicated her life to the Blessed Virgin Mary, and she wore blue and white for the rest of her life.
Broussard's remains were returned to Crowley, where he is buried next to his parents. Odette recorded this message to Broussard's family.
She would have liked to meet his family to tell them that he was happy with them the last 8 days of his life.
Rosemarie Benoit, another niece, grew up hearing stories from her grandmother about the uncle she never knew.
He loved chocolates. She would send him chocolates.
Her grandmother never knew what happened to her son. And no one here knew that Sergeant Broussard and 18-year-old Odette were falling in love.
Pour toi. She was like a first love for her.
Il me dit, après la guerre, je reviendrai te chercher.
He told her, after the war, I come back to take you.
Oh, that's so touching. She really was in love with him. That's good to know, because he may have been at war, but he was in love.
After the war, Odette married a Frenchman, and her wedding dress was stitched from the white silk of an American parachute.